Okay, without overthinking it, if you had to take a guess, if a person lives to the age of 80, how many weeks do you think that is? If you're really brave, pause this video right now and comment your answer. Okay, pause now. The answer is 4,000. This book has confronted me in ways that I did not know that I needed to be confronted. You know when you read a book and you're just like, yeah, that's me. Yep, thank you. All right, you can stop now. I get it. You're calling me out. I love that. It is exactly what I want to feel when I read a book. And sometimes, I want to feel called out. I want to see someone putting into words the things that I think and do and feel and how I kind of should think instead in some cases. And yeah, this book did that for me. 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals by Oliver Burkeman. It's a book on time management, really, on productivity, but it takes a different approach, a more philosophical one, poetic almost at times, which isn't very typical again for books in this genre. There are lots of references to Nietzsche, to Mary Oliver, to give you an idea. And yeah, again, this book is just exactly what I needed in my life right now, and maybe you'll need it. So let's talk about it. Before diving into the book itself, I would like to share with you a tool that helps me be more productive and organized, especially as a content creator. And that is Biosites, who is so kindly our sponsor today, which I am so excited about because when you look for a tool and you're like, I wish that existed, that is Biosites for me. So how you see many creators will have a link in their bio or description with all of their socials and links collected in one place. At its core, that is what Biosites is, but it's more than just your links collected because you can also do so much more. You can edit it to your very liking so that it can be an extension of your brand. You can also monetize your content. You can add your newsletter. You can add a text. If you want to, you can also add links to products. And it all takes less than 10 minutes to set up, and it's completely free. Now, if you are a content creator especially, you absolutely need this because you want your current audience and new audiences to be able to find you across socials and to get an idea of who you are and what your brand is. And B, it gives a professional impression, which is obviously important for potential sponsors and people who would like to work with you. And again, this type of stuff really excites me so much because you get to change things. You can change the font, you can change the text, you can change the layout completely to your liking. Now to check out Biosites, go to biosites.com/Lana Blakely or click the link in my description box to create your own Biosites today. So the overlapping theme of the book is that no matter how much you try and no matter how much you think you do, you will never have complete perfect control over your time. And yet many of us become obsessed with time, how we use it and the guilt we feel when we fail to use it the way that we think that we should, and the anxiety we feel as we hope and want and wish that life will unfold the way that we want it to. But we still often end up feeling like we're not doing enough, and instead of valuing life for what it is in the now and simply letting it unfold, we value it according to its usefulness for some future goal or for some hope about a time in the future where we will finally be able to relax and enjoy ourselves. It's the classic, I will stress about this now so that I can get the benefits from it later and then I'll be able to relax. And so what many of us do is we live in the future for the future, a future that isn't promised to us at all. We give up current enjoyments for those potential future benefits that may or may not come. As he writes, the trouble with attempting to master your time, it turns out, is that time ends up mastering you. And now while it can be quite disheartening to really consider the fact that our time is so very limited, it's also what gives everything we do meaning. It's also what forces us to make tough decisions. I mean, if we had forever, why would you care about, what career choice you make or who you date and if they're the right person and what to do on the weekend and what your summer plans should be, really? And speaking of choices, I really like how he described FOMO, the fear of missing out, as a good thing. So not only are we inevitably going to miss out on almost everything in life, since our time is so limited in contrast to all the opportunities and possibilities that there are in life, but FOMO is what actually makes our choices meaningful in the first place because we're deliberately choosing one thing over another. He also writes about the efficiency trap. You simply can't get everything that you want done. And for that reason, you will have to make hard choices about time because you simply can't avoid that. And there will always be too much to do. And so instead of trying to get everything done because you really can't, you should focus on doing the few things that count. He also writes about how, the more we do and have, generally speaking, we tend to want to do and have more. Like, the more wonderful experiences that you have, the more additional wonderful experiences you start to feel like you could have or ought to have. And so we get overwhelmed, wondering if we are spending our time wisely and how we may optimize it. But as Berkman writes, once you truly understand that you are guaranteed to miss out on almost every opportunity the world has to offer, the fact that there are so many you still haven't experienced stop feeling like a problem. Instead, you get to focus on the tiny slice of experiences you actually do have time for, and the freer you are to choose in each moment what counts the most. Berkman also shares some tips and tricks for how we can become better procrastinators, since procrastination is inevitable, but we can learn to choose more wisely what we decide to spend our time on, and therefore what we are going to procrastinate on in order to focus on what matters most. So Berkman writes about 3 principles for this. I'm not wearing earrings. I felt like something was off. So Berkman writes about 3 principles for this. The first one being pay yourself first when it comes to time. Basically, do the important things first, even if you only do a little bit each day, as this is going to generate the most sustainable results over time. So even if it's only 10 minutes, schedule this time for yourself and for your most important projects, and don't let anything else intrude. The second principle is limit your work in progress. Don't have too many projects at once because you're less likely to make any real progress. See, when you have multiple projects, each time one of them starts to feel difficult or boring, you will just go to the next one, and that is going to give you a sense of control. But what ends up happening is you don't finish anything important. So limit your number of projects to 3. The third principle to become a better procrastinator is to resist the allure of middling priorities. So, most people could list a long list of tasks that are important to us, but they're not all equally important, and we need to decide which ones are the most important ones and focus on those. So he writes about Warren Buffett, who did this thing where he listed 25 things that he wanted out of life, and then arrange them in order, and then only focus on organizing your time around the top 5. The intimate interrupter. While there are so many distractions today, and it's all so very easily accessible to us, it's interesting to dig deeper into why we seek these distractions. The answer oftentimes is that we are trying to flee something painful about our existence in the present. Mary Oliver calls this inner urge towards distraction the intimate interrupter. And now what's quite bizarre is that we even experience this urge to distract ourselves when we're doing things we genuinely enjoy or working towards goals we genuinely desire to accomplish. So what I gathered from this that I thought was quite interesting was that it isn't always necessarily the distractions themselves that are causing me to be distracted, but rather it's within me. I'm forced to face some sort of a discomfort or face some sort of a limitation within myself. For example, when I'm working on a project, and so I seek externally to distract myself from those uncomfortable inner feelings. Let's say I'm working on a script for a video and I feel like I'm getting stuck and I'm not getting my words out right and I'm not having a good flow. And instead of confronting that discomfort, sitting with it, I'll pick up my phone and start scrolling to distract myself. Doing things that matter to us come with a level of discomfort and lack of control and fear that we might fail, that we might not be skilled enough, and that can be scary, and so we distract ourselves. The second part of the book is called Beyond Control. So we try to gain control by planning for the future as much as we can, and we get emotionally invested, hoping that that will provide some sort of reassurance from the future. But the future isn't the sort of thing that can even provide the reassurance that we crave. Worry, at its core, is the repetition experience of a mind attempting to generate a feeling of security about the future, failing, then trying again and again and again, as if the very effort of worrying might somehow help forestall disaster. The fuel behind worry, in other words, is the internal demand to know in advance that things will turn out fine. And now this is not to say that, we shouldn't plan anything at all because anything can happen and we have no control over the future, so what's even the point? The problem, as he writes, is not the planning. The problem and the source of all anxiety is this need we feel to be able to know that all the effort we put into things and the time we spend will be worth it in the end. Despite your efforts, you could still lose your job, you could still miss your flight, your partner could still leave you. But this lack of control shouldn't merely be viewed in a negative light. After all, much of the things that we value most in life were given to us when we didn't have much, if any, control. Many of the things that we appreciate and love in life were given to us thanks to circumstances we never chose. You are here. I'm very much guilty of stressing over how I spend my time. What could I be doing differently? Is this the best use of it? Am I wasting my time now? Should I use this hour to do something productive? Am I serving my future self and future life in the best way that I possibly can? Am I being a lazy bum? Bergman writes that the more you focus on using your time well, the more each day begins to feel like something you have to get through en route to some calmer, better, more fulfilling point in the future, which never actually arrives. It's the whole, when I have X, I will be X. When I accomplish this thing, then I will feel that way. What we're doing is we are treating the present solely as a path to some superior future state, and so the present moment won't ever feel satisfying in itself. So even if and when we reach a goal, big or small, we'll just find some other reason to postpone our fulfillment until later on. I could go on about this book. I think there are so many valuable insights that I got from it. I think books really find you when you need them, and this was one of those times, one of those books. I will link it below. Also linking bio sites, don't forget to check them out. And in true Lana fashion, let's end this video with a quote. It's a very short one, but it really struck a nerve. What you pay attention to will define for you what reality is.